Okay, it's day 2 in my studio, my New York studio. It's still empty in here, but my stuff is getting delivered like in about an hour. Basically, what happened when I moved across the country from California is I packed all of my equipment, my workshop, my studio, and my home into these like U-Haul boxes, these steel boxes that then got shipped to Staten Island. Literally thought that I was only gonna need one box for my studio and my home because it only took me one box to move from Maine to California. I needed 3 boxes. Of course I needed 3 boxes. So 2 went to my apartment. 1 is my studio. That's getting delivered in less than an hour. The way that these get delivered is you have to hold down a parking spot for them to drop it. And I don't have a car. And last night I was like scouting for a spot. One opened up right in front of my studio. I took some code from a construction site. I put them in the spot to hold it down. My friend was supposed to come and park his camper there. He was hung up at his studio and he didn't get there in time. Thought that the cones would just work. I got there this morning, the cones did not work. Somebody was on that shit. The cones are gone. There's like a car that looks like it just got like obliterated in an accident in its spot. Spots are like getting held down for probably months at a time. Nobody's moving. Panicked this morning. Panicked. Thought this is a new friend for me. Thought that he was maybe like completely dipping out on me because he's my moving help as well. Not the case. He's on his way. I went to the gas station next door and I was like, hey, is there any way I could put a U-Haul box in one of these spots that's like in front of their air compressor that's out of commission? And the guy's like, I don't care, like maybe we can get away with it. So last resort, I'm gonna do that as long as I can get my stuff out of there quickly. I don't really know what could happen to the box, but hectic, stressful logistics, fucking New York, like getting into this place is, yeah, gonna be hectic. Cool that I've made a friend and he's bringing a friend. In times like this, it's like really, I feel like the weight of being alone and being like the sole person in my business, and I can't just like funnel these things to somebody else. I have to deal with it, and it kind of invokes this like fight or flight a little bit because I'm like, oh shit, the spot's gone. I want to run away. I want to cancel it. I want to just like run away, and I can't do that. I gotta figure it out, and as long as you push forward, you are gonna figure it out. We'll see. It hasn't happened yet, but I feel like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Literally in a few hours, this place is gonna be filled with my shit. My friend did show up with his camper, which was awesome because I was like calling around to moving places and I didn't know what I was gonna do. He shows up. I'm like, I'm mad at you. He's like, I'm sincerely apologize. We squash it. We smoke some weed in his camper while we wait for this guy to show up. We had no way of communicating with the driver. Like, so all we can do is wait and enjoy each other's company and get to know each other better. So I get to look at some of his art. He made like a comic book, which was incredible. It's not finished yet. And we just wait. And so the guy finally shows up. He's like, I don't need a parking spot at all. I'm just gonna take my forklift. He literally is coming down like the block with this like forklift in this box. Like, he's like, I'm just gonna put this thing right on the sidewalk. And that's what he did. He literally just puts it in front of the side, like right in front of the door, the most convenient spot ever. I didn't need to be worrying about the parking spot at all. Nobody cares, just park there. And I'm like, okay, my kind of neighborhood. We unload it, done. All my stuff's out. no need to worry after all. Now I'm in here and I'm excited. Something that I think is kind of like ceremonious and meant to be is that when I moved here from California, I had a certain amount of cash that I got from like selling everything. And I've been living off that cash for the past month and a half, like almost 2 months, and it was getting pretty low. And I just gave my last bills to my friends for helping me move. So it's over. Time to get back to work. Okay, it's the end of day 2 in my studio, and I got a lot of stuff done today. I'm mostly just starting to like configure what are the most logical places for my big pieces to go. Like I have a huge cabin table that's 4x6, which is a big piece for this room. I have my industrial sewing machine, I have my industrial skyver, and then I have to like find a place for my patterns, so I hung those up. But I kind of had this thought today where this morning I got here and I was kind of internally freaking out a little bit because I didn't know where we were gonna park this cube, and it has all of my things in it, and I didn't know if my friend was gonna show up to help me. I did know that in a few hours like everything would somehow work its way into this space, and it did. And I'm so thankful for that, and so thankful to have like made friends so early on here where it's like I could depend on them, and they did show up and we had a great time. And what was great about that too is that I was kind of feeling like a little uncertain about the space because it is a lot of money and without like really a lot of perks, whereas like the other places I could have gone had more perks, like in terms of like really, nice communal spaces, like little kitchenettes, like they do events there, things like that. And I chose this space because I really liked the patio, and I also really wanted to be in this neighborhood. It seems like a lively, art-focused neighborhood. Loving it so far. Kind of like, I don't know, it's overwhelming. I don't know if this is the right space for me. Maybe I made a mistake. But then my friend Turtle showed up today to help, and as soon as he came into the space, he's like, this is the best space ever. Like, you're stoked. Like, this is amazing. Like, oh, you've got this loft. And yesterday I was kind of like, the loft is, I'm gonna have to take this down. Like, I wouldn't have made it this way. But also, like, who am I to kind of critique how somebody made something? Like, everybody's just doing what I'm doing, which is making things out of the resources that they have at the time. And that's what we do as artists. And I feel like today I just got this whole new perspective on the space where it's like, fuck yeah, like today is a celebration. It's like I wanted to be critical about it or something. I felt like, oh no, like of course I'm gonna get taken advantage of. Of course my friend isn't gonna show up. Of course I'm not gonna get the help that I need. Like, of course this place isn't gonna be suited to me. But it's like, yeah, it is. I just had to kind of see it through somebody else's eyes for a moment and get a reality check on like how incredible is it that I'm here in this space right now in New York, and because of the success of what I create, I'm able to make this huge move across the country that people only dream of, and get into this space and make it my own. And you know what, like everything is finding its place, and I'm so thankful for this loft. Holy shit, like of course I'm thankful for this loft. Like, yes. And the guy left a hammock. Fuck yeah. Like, just the first thing that my friend did was pull the hammock out and get in it. It's like, yeah. Every every space that I've had thus far, every studio space, I started in my parents' house in my mom's sewing studio. I would like take jobs there and make that work. That's how Maven started. Shortly after that, I moved on to a piece of land that I had with an ex-partner, and we built a cabin on it, and half that cabin was my studio, And that's the uninsulated workshop that I often like talk about, because that one was that one felt like my first studio, and it was. And it was fucking cold, and there was a barrel stove, and it wasn't insulated, and the wind would literally, it was like just boards, and the wind would just come through the boards, and I was in there for 2 winters. And that's where I did like the majority of my motorcycle seats when I was first starting out, and I was so thankful for that space. Literally, the wind would like move, the windows would come up like this. There were like these single pane windows that we got for free, and the wind would come and like literally pull them in like up in the middle of like a wind chill winter, and I would have to shove cardboard in them as shims to try to like keep it. But the way that the wind moved, it would just come and flap them up. Like the place was super bare bones, that's what I'm trying to say. And I was like so happy to have it. I was so happy to have it. And then from that moment on, when a place that could be also a storefront opened up in the little downtown of that town, it was called Cherryfield, Maine, really tiny, tiny, tiny town, and actually one of our country's most impoverished counties, Washington County, Maine. I moved into that place, and that was like a big space, and it was a lot for me to like take on a rent, like really commit to my work and be like, I'm gonna pay extra for the space, for the professional space to do my art. And that worked while it worked, and that place had rats, and it had a whole other thing, and maybe I'll talk about that place at a later date. But and then from there I went to California, and when I looked at the space in California, I was like, I'm gonna pay that amount for this space. It just felt like, oh, that's so much money. Like that's such a jump from like where I started to the rent I was paying in California. But I did it because I pretty much had no choice. Like it was either that or go back home. And so I committed. That commitment on that California studio storefront space, like that is the space that catapulted my career. Like that, because of me committing in that way and spending the money on that space, which at the time felt tiny. Right now it feels huge, but that was the turning point in my career. That was the commitment. And then, yeah, because of that commitment, slowly building like that, being able to adapt to different spaces, being thankful to have them, that's what brought me to this space right here, right now, in this city that's like filled with opportunity. So I'm just feeling super thankful for it, and I'm excited about the patio, and it's going to be great in the summer. And I love that there's a bunch of artists in this building, and we're all kind of working at the same time. And like, what are we making in our rooms? Like, I have no idea, but I'm sure I'll find out. And it's like, yeah, be thankful. Be thankful. I think I was thankful yesterday, but I was also stressed and feeling uncertain. And now it's like, girl, you've been like adapting for so long and prioritizing your art and transmuting through it. Like, any space I end up is the right space for me at that time. And those are my thoughts now as I leave this second day video journal.